Hi everyone, I put together this masterclass on clear, confident riding, especially for Equine Affaire. I'm so sorry we can't be together in person, and I want to thank the organizers for putting in the effort to make this virtual version happen. My focus for this video is to highlight how students like you can get better results today by becoming more clear and confident with the skills and feel you already have. Hesitation in the moment due to self-doubt is a common roadblock that stands between you and more harmony. This video is going to show you how to get more while working less and have your horse enjoy and participate in the process. One of the specialties of Dressage Naturally is the empowering and transformative methods, where the goal is to change the way you think and feel during your ride. So with what I show you in this video, you're going to learn how to have more confidence in making decisions in the moment with your horse and to be able to problem solve more independently. This video gives you a peek at how I work with students in a way that you can duplicate when you're at home. You'll get some theory, a simulation that I hope you'll do with me as you watch, and then I play with two different riders. I packed in as much as I could into this video, and make sure you grab the summary sheet that I made for you. And you can check out all my learning resources at dressagenaturally.net. All right, let's get started. The first step is that we try to develop a horse that's just we can get on and we can go for a little ride. And that we feel like if somebody else rode our horse, we wouldn't need 3 pages of instructions. That anybody that can ride could get on your horse and be able to, go stop and turn and tootle around. So that's kind of the first goal. In doing that, we want to be able to be as neutral as possible, right? We want to feel like, okay, we just ride. Nothing, and that there's, point and shoot kind of thing. Then, if we want to start doing more stuff and more exercises, and if we want to improve their biomechanics and quality of gait and do fancier exercises, then we're going to have to start talking to them about other things, right? Increasing the range of what energy we can talk to them in, increase the ways that we can cause relaxation anytime, anywhere, and shifts of their balance, right? Because you can have comfortable transportation going, go there, and the horse goes there, but they might go there a little crooked. And that's okay in the beginning, but at some point we want to be able to say, hey, can I move your rear end over there? And that's the moment, well, getting just comfortable transportation is a tall enough order. But then when we start going, okay, I want to change how we're doing things, that's the moment where often everything gets stuck because we say, oh, my horse's rear end is over there. I'd like to move it over here. And it doesn't work. Right? So then we start having to put our leg on, and then because our leg is on, we're sitting over to one side, and because we're sitting over to one side, they start to drift. So then we need our reins to get them to be on the line of travel, and pretty soon our comfortable transportation now needs 3 paragraphs and a 20-minute instructional video, because if we do that for too long, now the horse doesn't even know how to go by itself anymore. So when you do let go of everything, they're just like a mess. Does anybody, does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah. This is a daily quest. With my horses, when I go up a level and I start having more difficult movements, this pattern comes in again because counter change the hand at the half pass. I got to be really close and a really good pilot, and sometimes I'm not perfect. So we get in these little moments, and then because of that, all of a sudden my forehand yields don't work anymore because I've spent the last week desensitizing it. So this is something to really be aware of. I got a nice little horse I can tootle around on. Now I'm going to make some suggestions. What exactly is that suggestion? And can you get really effective and efficient and clear? So it's done. Could you move your haunches? Sure. Thank you. I mean, that's what we're going for, right? Oh, could you move? Your shoulder's bulging. Could you move over to here? Thank you. Instead of what we often experience.
Micromanaging.
Micromanaging, but contortion. Because you got to micromanage in a Grand Prix dressage test. We got to be close there. So like two people dancing the foxtrot, that's micromanaging. It's just really good leadership. You know, you can get that close and be like, we are together. Where it goes wrong is if it's not working and then there's contortion. I asked you to move, the horse didn't move, and now I'm stuck. I put my leg on it, didn't work, and now my leg's there. I turned, my horse didn't turn, and now we're twisted, right? So that's the stuff we have to look at, be like, ding, 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 this cue didn't work, and then go back, why didn't it work? Otherwise, like, that just could go on your whole life. I've seen people get stuck there their whole lives, and why can't I get past training level? That's why. And so, you know, and the more we've had rehearsals of it, the harder it is to correct. It's that being able to have the comfortable transportation and then being really aware of, now I'm getting close, now I'm asking for something, uh-oh, did it work or not in motion? And if it's not working in motion, go down a gate until you can get it in the basic parts again. Remind them of how that's related to that foundation that you started. So when you're riding, think of what are all the reasons why you're not in neutral. Because you can be in neutral, as much as I said, you know, there's some good leadership in Grand Prix and you're really close, but you still can be in neutral. A Grand Prix rider they can't put all the controlling aids for every single thing the horse is doing. It's too complicated. There's a lot of things that horse has to be doing by himself in active neutral. Active neutral is your embodying, confirming, and allowing whatever it is that you ask your horse to do. Whether it's just go down the trail or passage. There's an active neutral, meaning you're embodying it and the horse is matching you. So imagine that compared to the feeling of you asked your horse to go and he didn't really go. And now there's that, you know what that feels like. That like, I got to keep my leg on, I got to keep pushing. So kind of thinking now with you and your own horses, where are all the places that you're not in neutral? And then how can we make those better? So like, what are the reasons for contortion? So sometimes we contort just because we're a little contorted. We have a habit of leaning, or we're crooked, or whatever. And then we just have to fix ourselves. But sometimes there's reasons, like, well, why is my right hand always up like this? And if you really ask yourself, you'll probably know. It's like, well, because his shoulder's always falling that way. Oh, so we gotta like work on the shoulder stuff. Or why is your left leg always like this? Ask yourself. Well, he's probably leaning over. Because when you take and how do you know? Take the aid off. Find out what happens. So if you take your legs off and your horse stops, it's like, oh, no wonder. So we got to work on that. Like, get your horse to go and match that energy and be in neutral. Look for those contortions. Where are the parts where your body's doing something weird that you don't want it to be doing? And figure out the missing piece of communication. And then go deep into that and like, let's clear it. Help your horse be successful. Because you've asked him a question. Could you go in this position? And you want him to go, you want him to do it so you can go, thank you. Mm-hmm. And you'd want to shorten that time between when you asked and when he goes, oh, and you can go, thank you. Now let's see if we can get it. Okay. So the longer you stay there in that struggle, he's like, what am I supposed to do? And you're like, and then you just keep riding. He's like, what did that mean? Yeah, okay. I guess nothing, right? Yeah. When we have meaningful conversations with a horse, we need to make it like, ready, horse? I'm going to ask you for this thing. Ready? Here it is now. Oh, let me help you find it. Good, thank you. But we don't want to go, surprise, it's a kind of yield. And the horse is like, am I doing it? And you're like, sort of. well, maybe we'll just go the other way. You laugh because it's familiar, right? Or I'm going to ask for something and the horse is like, did I do it? You're like, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. It just comes down to like, listen horse, when I do this, I want you to do that. And that's where like you could train your horse that when you touch his right ear, he should do a hindquarter yield. Like, I don't really care what your aids are. I'll let you know if you do anything too weird. Because I've met lots of people who have weird aids for horses, and their horse is like, I understand what she's talking about, and then I don't care. Seriously. Like, so it's just like between you and your horse, like when I do this, you do that, thank you. But you got to be consistent, and you have to get ready, here it comes. You know, hopefully you're doing something that helps the horse, like with your weight. You know, obviously your position is going to help a little bit more. You're not doing anything that works against, and then you have to time your thank yous, and if you got 40% effort, but it was close, you go, thank you for that 40%. I know that took a long time, but let's try it again. And we keep going until we get something that feels a little bit more like, oh, I get it. Comfortable transportation stage is so important. Some people learn to ride by taking dressage lessons. And I'm like, don't do that. Learn to ride by being able to like not need the reins and follow the rail and go stop and turn and have your balance so that you know how to just be balanced on a horse. And you can see these kids. It's beautiful, right? Because they just toot along and ride on their horses, you know. Sometimes.
Cantering around backwards.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to have that as the context. I can ride. My horse is happy. We can go where we want to go. We can go up and down gates. We can go stop and turn. And like, it just works. You don't have to be English or Western or anything. It just works. Because then we can tell the difference when we start getting sophisticated conversation, whether it works or not. And we don't accept riding around like this because we remember what it felt like to ride like that. So while you're sitting here in these postures, let's just kind of prep ourselves a little bit. And this is something that you can do with your horses, and maybe we'll stand up to make it even easier. Let's say that we want to come to our horses feeling really calm, really confident, like we can be really clear, and like we're really interesting. So one of the things you'll notice in my method is in order to figure out how it you got to do your Wonder Woman again. You're like going to fall over. Is if we're not sure how that feels to be that way, let's practice feeling the opposite way. So close your eyes and just embody, like do anything you need to do in your body to feel as not calm, anxious, tense, and not confident. Like we all know what that feels like. Like how do you stand when you're not confident? What do you feel? What do you think about? And how about if you're confused, if you're not clear, like you're trying to explain something, you don't really know the answer and you're like trying to make it up. Like how's that feel if you just can't express what you're trying to say? And how's that feel? And what do you do in your bodies? Don't worry, I'll get you out of this in a second. And then add on to that. So you're anxious, you're insecure, you're not confident, you're like kind of confused. And on top of that, you feel like the most boring person in the world. Like, how would you stand? Okay, so now you know what that feels like. So let's undo it. What if you started to become calmer? It's all good. Everything's okay. And you get a little more confident. You realize, I do know how to do a bunch of stuff. I do know how to do that. And you realize that you do understand things enough that like you can be really clear. It's this. This is what I'm looking for. I know exactly. And then how would you stand and feel if you're like, oh, this is going to be so cool. I know something you don't know. Oh my gosh, horse, wait till you see this exercise. I'm going to play with you. It's the most interesting thing. Just stand there for a second feeling like you are the calmest, most confident, clear communicator, and you have really interesting things to say. You're going to get so specific. Your horse is going to be like, oh, how did you see me do that? That's cool. And how would you stand and hold yourself? How would you stand if you were like in a movie and you were playing, like think of a person or a character or, you know, anything. Could it be in a cartoon or animated or an actual superhero, whatever, a person you know that's like the most calm, confident, clear, interesting person you've ever met, and you're playing that person in a movie. How would you stand? How would you do it? How like... Everybody, do an exaggeration of the most calm, confident, clear, interesting person in the world. Yeah. It feels weird, right? Pretend being that way. When you come up to your horses, you know, what if you came up there like, this is going to be so cool today. And when you talk to your horses, it's more like, it's this. Thank you. This horse has been a big challenge for this rider, and the most common advice she got was just to keep him in training and not ride him at all. She decided to take responsibility for her education and learn how to ride him, and I'm happy to help her with that. My goal was to show her how to communicate with him in a way that they could both build their confidence in each other. She needed to be a clear, confident leader, and he needed to know what she wanted. In this moment, the most important thing is to make things more simple and more clear, and to help the horse and rider find a place that they can enjoy together as a starting point. I set up a circle with cones, and I asked her to pay attention to whether she was on or off course. Her instructions were to say out loud whether he was on or off the line of travel in every moment, and if she was on course, she should reach forward and give him a little pet. This was a big challenge for her, as you'll see. You know, learning to trust your instincts is hard after instructors tell you that you're not good enough to ride your own horse. In my opinion, the best starting point is to help them find basic comfort in each other through calm, confident, clear, and interesting conversation. Notice how quickly they're able to find harmony once they focused 100% on one simple thing. And notice I don't tell her what aids to use. She doesn't need to know more. She needs to trust herself more. Tell me really every time, like yes, 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 on course, off course, back on course. Like really say it out loud. I know it's going to feel silly, but it's going to help.
On course, on course, on course.
You're doing fine, yep. And every time you're thinking he's on course, just quietly, not a big move, but just give him a little scratch with your fingers on the right. So just do one of these, like on his neck. Susan, one of these on his neck. Every time you're saying on course. Go again. Good, so ideally, in a moment, you're just going to be going around going, he's on course, he's on course, he's on course, and he gets and scratch his neck. Good. Just keep your reins adjusted so that you can just use your fingers to scratch his neck. Keep going. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep your hands forward. Keep scratching his neck. like this, constantly. So figure out how to adjust your reins so that you can do that every single stride. Good. Is he on course?
No.
Correct. Good. And when he's on course, give and scratch. Is he on course?
No.
Correct. Tell me when he is.
Yeah.
Good. Soft. Scratch his neck. Good. Good. Is he on course?
Yes.
Every single stride. I want you saying on course, on course, on course. Good. So let me know in every stride what you're feeling. Scratch his neck a little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
On course.
That looks good. Yep. Oh, oh, make a little adjustment back on course and then scratch again. Good. Rub his little neck. Nice. Nice. Scratch his neck. Are you on or off course?
On.
Good. Good. Don't forget to scratch his neck when he's on course. All right, I'm still not hearing.
On course. On course. Like.
This is not an easy exercise, and by design, I'm asking her a lot of questions that are going to disrupt her pattern of thinking and worrying. I want her to trust her instincts to feel and respond exactly in the moment her horse needs her to.
Yeah, I know it feels really weird, but do it anyway. So tell me, pretend I'm blind or I'm on the phone with you.
On course. On course.
Yeah, don't forget to scratch him at the same time.
I don't want to move because he's doing something.
Yeah.
It's normal that we humans want to hold on to things. We want to hold on when we feel out of control, and we want to hold on when it feels good. We need to learn to let go. What's important here is that she acknowledges and reassures her horse. If she does that and something changes, it's okay. She can find it again. If her horse knows he's successful, it will become easier and easier for them to find this place of harmony together.
Is he on course?
Yes.
Good. And now just stop. And stop. And drop the reins. Trust them completely. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah, really good. And just let him kind of chill there for a second. Yeah, yeah. And don't forget to scratch him when he's on course.
On course. On course. On course.
Excellent. And I love that you were able to feel that he was on course even though he was hopping up and down. That's beautiful because that's what I want you to feel. Like, yeah, his head's doing weird stuff, but I'm going where I want. Yeah.
Of course.
And give him little rubs on the inside when he feels good.
Like that.
Exactly. How about now?
Of course there a little bit.
You're doing great. This is good. You're riding him well now. If you keep doing this, he'll get better. Give him little scratches on the inside. Good. Tell me when he's on course. Tell me when he's on course.
He's on course now.
Just say on or off.
On.
Yeah. Give him little rubs. Give him little rubs.
Off.
How about now?
On.
Excellent.
On.
Doesn't matter. You're excellent, Susan. Keep going. You recovered really well. Good keeping your balance through that. On or off?
Off. On. 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 On.
Excellent. Stick with it. You're being better than he is right now, so that's awesome. Yeah, keep rubbing his neck. I thought this was supposed to be the hard side. This looks great. How do you like it? Yeah, I'd find a note to end on. I'd make sure you stop it before, because that was like light years different than anything else. Yeah. Good. So you go, phew, that's how easy that can be. Really good. Yeah. So there's your starting point. Go home and commit to just getting that really good. And then P.S., from a dressage point of view, did his posture and gaits get better, worse, or the same?
Better.
How hard were you working? More, the same, or less?
Less.
How much focus did it take to get there?
A lot.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Yes.
When things feel complicated and difficult, it will always help to aim for very simple things done with great clarity. Let your horse find a way to be successful and tell him when he is. He really does want to know what you want him to do. The simpler the task, the more confident you will be about what you're feeling. In this next example, you'll see a capable rider and horse. The rider's educated but lacks confidence in her decision making and her confidence in what's, quote, right. I play with her in a way that brings out her confidence and skills so that she can enjoy better results right now. This next exercise is a crash course in a concept I call finding the sweet spot. And this is where you visualize the result, play with the ingredients, and trust your instincts to say yes when you feel it. I start by asking her to describe how he feels today.
Relaxed. In my mind, he's in a okay balance, but he's kind of, little piddly steps and a little rigid, or not really moving his back, or, he needs a little more.
Let's see if we can play with that. We'll see what it looks like, and let's see if we can find a place where instead of Terry riding around going, he feels tight, he's so rigid, she can say, yes, that's more whatever it is than it used to be. And at the end, hopefully, Terry's going to tell me what she did to find it. Because I don't know what she needs to do, because I don't know what it's like to be Terry on that horse, and I don't know what it's like to be that horse with you riding. It's not about right, wrong, good, bad. It's about what is. And it's really important to be able to look at what is without judgment. That's another second little life tip for today that has nothing to do with horses. Can we just see what is and not say whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong? The other thing that I do is I kind of scan looking for my relaxation energy balance filter, and I try to see where's the disharmony. And there's not a lot of disharmony right here. What adjectives would you like to feel more of? Don't think dressage terms, just adjectives. Like I had one woman say, I want my horse to feel like whipped cream. Like, okay.
I think I'd like him to feel more soft underneath me or something.
So maybe some more relaxation in the back, some softness under your butt. Okay. Anything else?
Happier. He's having difficulties with this.
Like just a little happier, you said?
Yeah, I mean, he's a little noisy in his mouth as opposed to relaxed in his mouth.
Okay.
And
yeah,
he's on the verge of maybe thinking about a nervous piaffe because...
Okay. You're going to move around, and I want you to experiment with some different energy levels, some different balances. And I don't want you to think shoulder and haunches, and I want you to think slosh, swoosh, smush, move this over here, move this over there. But with the intention of trying to find a place where you even think he feels like he releases through his back, and he might ask to if you give the reins, he would stretch.
Like right
Okay.
now, I'm saying.
I want you to search with great curiosity. And let's do it at the trot, just to have a little more energy.
Okay.
Good. So think of your same normal trot you were doing. So with a connection. And I want you to investigate. So try different energy levels. So you might go a little bit faster and just check. And we might find things like, oh, when I ask for more energy, my horse doesn't answer me or something like that. So check a little higher energy.
A little more energy.
Yeah, just ask for higher energy. So did your horse respond the way you wanted?
He gave me a little more.
Okay, so what energy level do you have now on a scale from 1 to 10? Just top of your head.
I would have said 5 or 6.
Okay, your horse is asking you what energy you're asking for, and you're going, a 5 or a 6.
I'm going to be very particular about how she answers my questions. It's a really important part of the process to help the rider be more clear and confident.
So it's really hard for your horse to be successful if that's what you're telling him. So what energy level would you like right now? Just top of your head. Don't think about it too much. On a scale from 1 to 10, what energy level?
I think I'd like just 1 or 2 points more, but still the same.
No, hang on. Right now, what energy level is this?
He got a little better.
No, it's not better or worse. What energy level is it right now on a scale from 1 to 10?
6.
Excellent. That's the kind of answer we want. So we're just going to call this a 6. It's not a dressage score 6. It's just on a scale from 1 to 10, it's a 6. So are you still at a 6 right now?
I got it to a 7.
What energy level would you like?
About now, I think.
What?
Now it's fine.
Okay, what energy level is that? What
7.
number?
I don't know. It's a little better than before.
It's not better or worse. We don't know if it's better or worse. What number on a scale from 1 to 10?
7.
7.
No.
Okay. So is it still a 7 right now?
No, he's a little out of balance, so it's probably an 8.
Just with respect to energy level, is it still a 7 right now?
This is a 7.
Okay, excellent. Are you in neutral, meaning you don't have to keep your leg on in order to keep it a 7? Or hold your reins?
No, not really. At that point, I wasn't.
Okay. Is it a 7 right now?
This is okay.
It's not. I don't know what okay means. Is it a 7?
Okay.
Welcome to the human brain. You are not the first person I've done this exercise
Okay.
with. Okay. This is really important. Your horse is asking you, Mom, what energy level should I be doing? And you will answer him by saying
7.
excellent. And you will tell him that he's right by going to neutral, meaning you're embodying, supporting, confirming it, but you're not carrying him with your leg to keep him going, and you're not holding your hands to keep him from going too fast. So is he at a 7 right now? Your horse is asking you, Mom, how am I doing? Is it a...
He keeps wanting to quit. So
Is it...
he's 7 until
No. Is it a 7 right now?
Yes.
Are you in neutral?
Almost.
Huh?
Almost.
Okay, so just stop for a second. Oh, we get to practice the stopping and relaxing. So game over. Stop. Come back here. Just come here. We're going to hang out for a second. And now you get to practice your hanging out and dropping the reins. I promise this will be so worth it.
I know that this rider can get really in her head instead of trusting what she's feeling. So I'm purposefully not giving her much time to think. I want her to be able to start quickly reporting what she's feeling without overthinking it. And at first, this is going to be a little frustrating for her. She's being a really great sport.
Okay, so stop. And just... Okay, beautiful, like a cowgirl. So the game is going to be, we're going to take one ingredient and we're going to get it really good. So we're going to pick an energy level.
Okay.
You pick this, it doesn't matter what I want you to pick and go, this is the one. So you're going to start trotting. When you get the one you like, you're going to go, this is it. It's a whatever number is, you're going to tell me. It might be still a 7. It might be different. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I want you to go, yes, this one, it's a 7. And then I'm going to start asking you questions. Is it a 7 right now? And if you say yes, then you should, the next question is, are you in neutral? Meaning you don't keep nagging if he's doing what you want. And you don't keep holding if he's doing what you want. You give him a still point, okay? You don't do this. You're embodying, supporting, you're riding in a way that tells him with every fiber of your being that you're now sustaining a 7, but you're not using your extra aids. You should only be able to ride from mid-thigh to here. This is all you need to ride. And then have a brain. That's what I call riding like a butt head. You just need a butt and a brain. Our hands and our legs are only if the butt and the brain aren't working, okay? So.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to find a trot. You're going to tell me when you like it. You're going to give it a number really fast. If I say, is this a 7 or whatever number you pick, and you can't say yes beyond a shadow of a doubt immediately, then I'm going to say you should be doing something, because that means you need to get that communication working, okay? Okay, ready, get, set, go. Just think about the energy. There's other things going on, and do your best with them, but we're just going to think about the energy system.
This is okay. 7.
Don't tell your horse this is okay.
This is okay. This is a 7.
Find the
7.
energy level you want and tell me when it's the one and give it a number.
7 and it's okay. I mean, 7.
It's 7. Are you in neutral?
I'm in neutral.
Excellent. Is it still a 7?
Yeah.
Are you in neutral?
Yeah.
Beautiful. The energy system is working, and it's your responsibility to keep that going. All right, so we have the energy system in 7 and neutral, and we can say, did that make things closer or further away to the adjectives we're looking for?
Close.
Okay, good. So now
Don't
keep the 7. And is there anything else that you might want to investigate now that you're doing your 7 as far as balance? So you might start sloshing some body parts around. Like, just check. I wonder if I can move his rear end to the left. I wonder if I can move it to the
I moved his shoulders
right.
a little bit.
Huh?
Said I moved his shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, so just play around. Like, just move it here, move it there, move the butt. It's not a movement. And the energy level might change in that moment, and don't worry about it. Just kind of investigate. In a few minutes, I want you to tell me which body part is the hardest one to move in which direction. And you just investigate. Like, you're checking before you get in your airplane, and you check the rudders, and you check the whatever pilots check. You just check the system. And just,
I think it's his midriff.
you think what?
His midriff is to the left. Is the hardest.
Moving.
No, it's to the other side. Excuse me.
Okay, you can maybe go the other direction. You might find out something else about it if you go the other direction. And explore moving his body parts the other direction. Like, ask his haunches to step in or out, or the shoulder in or out, and just check. Like, find out what works and what doesn't.
Notice I'm not telling her exactly what to do. I'm giving her an idea, and I'm giving her permission to play around and asking her to tell me. And this is already building her confidence, and you can hear it in her voice.
And really check, like you're really testing the system. Yeah, good. A lot of things move pretty nicely, huh? And when I'm thinking about changing the balance, make sure, like, if you ask the haunches to move, can they move more than the shoulder? And then can the shoulder move more than the haunches? Good. So what part is the stickiest part?
The shoulder.
Moving in which direction?
To the left.
Okay. Can you do some maybe square turns to the left in a way that really gives him a chance to practice that skill? So now think about it. We're gonna stop making the soup. We're gonna go to the store and we're gonna buy some moving the shoulders to the left.
Okay.
So how could you practice moving shoulders to the left in a big, obvious way so that you guys get to practice that skill? Just like if I was stiff moving this way, I would go to yoga class and do some big stretches in that direction. So what would be the most, you're doing a lot of walking and missing a lot of opportunities. What's the most obvious way you could explain to your horse, hey, can you move your shoulder? Yeah. Oh, that looks a little like a square turn. So this might be a great time to practice some square turns and go hold up a big cue card and go, hello, can you move your shoulder? And if it doesn't work really well, practice it again. Like, give your horse feedback of, like, how did that go? And tell me when you get the one that feels like your horse 100% matched exactly how you asked his shoulder to move to the left. And if you have to do it from the halt. What?
That was close.
That was
Okay, that was okay. No, that was
Yeah, so again, this is your horse asking you. He's saying, Mom, was that it? So I want you to think of whenever you ask, there's going to be an answer that yours gives you, and you need to go, thank you so much for that 20% effort, or we're almost there. And then try it again until you can go, yes, that was it. So I want you to put your trainer hat on and pretend that you will know the feeling of your horse matching it. And if you need to do it from a halt, because that's easier, you can. So what we want is to go, when you say, ask your horse to move that shoulder, you set your horse up so you can go, yes, that was it. In the easiest circumstance.
good.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, good. And then you can give him a horse thank you by giving a little pat on the neck and saying thank you for that. pick up the trot, find an energy that feels good, give it a number, and then play with his balance again. And as you're riding around, if you feel like, oh man, that shoulder's sticking out to the right, I really would love to put it over to the left once. And maybe he's able to do that at the trot, or maybe you go, oh, that didn't work, and I have to go do a halt and a square turn again. You can, okay? So you have permission to either keep going and do it in flow, or go back, yeah, and make it a big obvious, like practice it. Whatever is not working, take it apart and practice it. Good.
That was good.
Yeah, good. And every time you feel that, reach and just touch his neck once and go, thank you. Yeah, good. Because remember, your horse is just trying to figure out what the heck we're doing. Good.
Good boy.
Yeah, and then after a few of nice turns like that, check the energy level again and just put your attention on the energy. We can only pay attention to one thing at a time. So those were good turns. So now think about the energy. Which one do you like? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, and just tell me when you like an energy level.
This energy level.
What number would you give it?
7.
7. Are you in neutral?
Good.
Yeah, is it still a 7?
Yeah.
Good. Did you hear her? Yes. Did you hear the difference in the tone of her voice? Instead of, I don't know, it was yeah. Okay, good. And now check the shoulders and maybe play with them a little bit. And whenever he gives you a nice yielding from the shoulders, tell him yes again. Good. So tell me when his shoulders feel the most aligned and balanced within your knowledge. When do they feel the best to you?
Okay.
Huh?
Whoops. Oh.
And just make sure when you feel it, say it fast and give him a little touch on the neck. That way we can, even if we can't hear you, we can see it. Good. And tell me when now think about the energy. Yeah, good. And now think about the energy level again. And just kind of think about it. Good. And then think about his shoulders again. So whenever you're feeling like, oh yeah, that energy's good and I'm in neutral, then put your awareness on his shoulders. And whenever the shoulders feel good, think about the energy again. And just tell me when you feel a moment where the energy feels good, you're in neutral, and the shoulders feel balanced. So you search and tell me really clearly and give him a touch on the neck whenever you feel that, even if it's just 1 split second and you're, yeah.
Right there.
Good. And just keep going with that. Right now when you touch him, he's like, what does that mean? But just keep playing with it. So this is where you're going to be searching or enjoying. And I want to make it obvious when you're searching and obvious when you're enjoying, so that we all know. And you can even say if you want, like, I'm searching, oh, I'm enjoying.
Oh, God.
Good.
Oh,
and
I'm
you're just
searching. Okay.
Yeah, and you're just bouncing your attention from his
Good.
Good.
Got it for a stride.
Yep, from his shoulders balance to his energy level. Your attention from his shoulders to his energy level. And yeah, good. Oh, I said good. Doesn't matter what I think. So you tell me when you love it. When you between the energy and the shoulders, you feel like there's a little magic moment.
Good boy.
Yeah, good.
Good boy. That was good.
Now, can you keep doing that? And then think about yourself. Maybe there's a place where you can sit that would be even better. And see if you can experiment with twisting in the saddle, like you're rotating a little to the right and then a little to the left in an investigative way where you're asking your horse, hey horse, where would you like me to sit?
Whoops.
Okay, so just keep searching. Now you got 3 things to think about: energy, his shoulders, and then your twisting. And I want you to tell me, this is your searching, when do you feel a moment where you're like, oh my God, that felt so much better? And you can, just trust your instincts. If you need to shorten your reins, if you need to change directions, like, it's all good. And be searching or enjoying. And the searching can look messy. It's okay.
Okay, this is okay. Whoops, there it went.
And all we're going to hear from you is we're going to see you searching, and then we're going to hear you say yes and tap and touch your horse. That's all we're going to hear from you.
I'm not good at one word.
So you got to let us know when you love it.
Okay, searching.
Yeah, and if you're not loving it, we're going to see you doing something, okay? So I want you guys to really try to see. She's a pretty refined looking rider, so she's subtle. So see if you can make it obvious, Terry, and you can even say, I'm searching, or, ooh, I'm enjoying.
Okay, oh yeah. Searching, now I lost it.
Yeah, be real, and I want you just to say yes, because it's hard for me to hear
I'm trying to just say yes.
So I want you to, all I want to hear is you say yes and touch your horse on the neck at the same time. I want to make it so clear that even your horse understands when you're happy with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excellent. And don't worry if when you touch him and say thank you, something falls apart, because you can just practice getting it again. So tell me when you love it. Think of the energy. Think of the balance of the shoulders. Tell him when you love it. Yeah, play with it. Good. And just all I'm going to suggest is that maybe you shorten your reins a little bit just to get a closer, take some of the slack out of the steering wheel, but good. That's it. Search, search, search. Good. And then check the energy level. And if you're clucking and nothing happens, you need to touch them or say, hey, that was my energy system.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, good. And the next time you feel like you've made a little drop of progress, come over here and just hang out for a second. Getting soft ears. Do you see his ears? Starting to get little soft ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, Terry. Good. Good. So, really good. And did you feel how at some point she started getting into it? Like at first I had to tell her a lot, and she's like, what? I don't know. And then at some point you just sort of like, shut up, Karen, I'm riding. How did that feel?
Felt good. Felt good.
Did you feel like you're getting a little more confident with?
Yeah, he was loosening up a little more. I think ultimately I should have probably taken a little more contact.
So when we go again, you could add into that of, I'd like to feel a little more, seeing if I can have the range short enough that he can move into that contact and he can find me there. And I mean, I think does he feel like he's closer to our goal of the adjectives you were looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're heading in the right direction. So when we go again, and notice when you're 100% in your work, it's easier to do 100% relax. It's because it's satisfying. You didn't build tension in that because you found the moment of peace. Like there was peace in that because you were confirming to him all the time. There's a big difference between your horse going, what should I be doing, Mom? And you're going, well, a 5 or 6. And he goes, well, how's this? And you go, it's okay. Because imagine if I taught you like that. Or if Bruno, Bruno, how's this look? It's pretty good for you. All right. So can you describe the adjectives that you would add on to what you were just finding there to give you the picture of like, there. This is the Trot that I'd be ready to really collect from and do more stuff from. So, I mean, you said about the connection. So I just want you to say the adjectives out loud because you're the one that needs to feel them. So we had looser in the back, and then what other?
Well, he needs to feel supple underneath me through the back and at least balanced enough so I feel like I can have him kind of shift back a little bit.
Okay. So why don't we, and I like to take all of that and try to find the simplest sentence that my horse could understand and that I can understand and that I can think about while I'm going. So would this feel like it resonates? That we add on the supple back and where you can feel his back feet under your butt. Each one. You can feel each hind foot under your butt. Like that's, because when they engage, that's what I feel. I feel the little push of their hind feet under my butt. And so let's go again, do exactly what you're doing. Think about the energy, think about the shoulders, and then maybe shorten your reins and think, how can I do what I was doing before and add on to that? I wonder where his back feet are. And can I do some things that will cause me to feel his back feet under my butt? And there's going to be a magic moment. There's going to be little thank yous of like, move your shoulder, thank you. Oop, energy, thank you. And then there's going to be a big yes where you're like, oh my God, he's supple through the back, matching my energy, balancing his shoulders, and I feel his hind feet. And that's going to be a yes, yes, yes moment, okay? So let's go searching for that. And I want you to just be really, really clear as a demo rider of like, oh, this ain't working, Oh, now it is. Thank you. And then let us know when you feel the big moment. And it might only last a stride, so you better be fast in telling us so that you save your yes for when you've got it all lined up. And just go on a little investigation of where are those back feet at that energy level with balanced shoulders. Good. You search, search, search.
Huh?
Yeah, and remember I forgot about that. Twist. Every now and then you're like, well, maybe I'm sitting in a little different. And I love the rotating because it'll take, if you're falling off one side and you start to rotate, you'll know real quick. And your body will naturally right itself.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
That was
boy.
beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
That was
boy.
beautiful.
Whoop.
It's like I felt the shoulder come in. I yielded it out. He moved. I said thank you, and we went on. That was beautiful. That's what a trainer does. You keep playing with that.
Good boy.
Yeah. Good. And just think about bounce your attention from his energy level. That's a good place to keep the energy up in that corner, because that's going to cause him to need to be a little more gymnastic.
Good.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Whoop. Good boy.
Yeah, nice, Terry. Trust that and walk. Just let him stop for a second and hang out. Just stop. Stop, stop, stop. That's one of those, that was a beautiful, wow, he looked good. You said yes in that moment. You had an instinct to stop, and I would do that. I'd say, yeah, because that's a big reward, and they're going to go, wow, what did I just do back there that got my mom to stop? That was beautiful, Terry. Can you guys see it changing? Yeah, really, really good.
Good boy.
That's awesome. Do you have one more round of that in you?
Do you
I'm going to ask you. You can quit on that, or you can try one more round of it.
We'll try one.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't.
Yeah, and you just, and then as we go, we try to decrease the amount of time we search and increase the amount of time we enjoy. But don't be afraid to mess something up and experiment. You slosh and slush and do whatever. I don't know what it's going to, I don't need to know the secret. That looks good. Find his back feet. Wonder where his back feet are. Think about your position.
Good.
Yeah, check your reins. Do you have the reins so that he can move into them? Just bounce your attention. Don't try to do it all at once. Check the energy and release it. Check the shoulders and then release it. Check your position and then release it. Whatever qualities you want, bounce your attention from one to the other, and I promise you, they will accidentally start to combine if you have the intention. Yeah. Good. And check. Yeah, good. And relax and drop the reins and trust it. Good boy. And then maybe, that was beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
So how did that, and what I love is did you hear the tone of her voice and the confidence? You were excellent, Terry, with that. The confidence level difference between when I first asked her a question, so I don't know, it's kind of, oh my God, I'm going to pick the wrong number.
That's what I was to comment on that, what you just said now.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you look like a deer in the headlights, and you were, holy shoot, what's going on here? And now you become so confident that your whole posture starts to change. It's very interesting to see the transformation from self-confidence and the freedom that you are able to do this. That's kind of neat. Very good. I love it.
Cool. All I did was try to get her to be confident in asking for what she wants to ask for. Does that make sense? Yeah. And this method is why I even considered making online, virtual training. Because most of the time trainers think, how could my students do this without me? And you do need a system and you do need instruction. We do need eyes on the ground. But I want to prepare riders so that they can go to an instructor and get the most out of it. And this you can do by yourself if you know what questions to ask yourself. I never told you when that good moment was, did I?
Yeah, that's true.
I never did. There's so many students with good instructors and in great systems, and they're still not able to access the system. And this is what I want to prepare so that, when she's riding like that, and she has a lesson with you, she's going to be taking care of 80% of what you normally have to talk to her about. Yeah. That was awesome, Terry. Good job.
Good boy.
Thank you so much.